بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فصل فصل في حكم مختلف. إذا غلط الثقة باختلال ضبطه بخلف أو هرم أو لذهاب بصره أو نحو ذلك قبل الحديث من أخذ عنه قبل الاختلاف. The chapter starts and it says that if a thiqa narrator, if a reliable narrator, he becomes uh, confused, he's not sure. Not only like that, he's unsure. Because sometimes in narration they will say he said this or he said that. The other is speaking about when a sikha, a reliable person, his mind becomes confused due to senility or dementia, he becomes naturally forgetful with everything. Or when he loses his sight, or anything in this method, might not be dementia or senility, but something that affects his brain. Then his hadith will only be accepted from the one who narrates from him before this has happened. ولا يقبل حديث من أخذ بعد الاختلاف أو شككنا في وقت أخذه فمن فمن المختلطين. Right? Saheeh, Abu Ishaq وسعيد الجريري وسعيد بن أبي عروبة عبد الرحمن بن عبد الله المسعودي وربيع أستاذ مالك وصالح مولى دوامة وحسين بن عبد الوهاب, right? And Sufyan bin Uyayna. Sufyan bin Uyayna, the very famous. So now we'll find here they saying that his hadith will not be accepted from the one who has taken hadith from him after this has happened. Or if we have doubt when exactly this has happened. Right? The next chapter is فصل في رواية الحديث بالمعنى. You find it there? Yes. إذا أراد رواية الحديث بالمعنى فإن لم يكن خبيرا بالألفاظ ومقاصدها عالما بما يحل معانيها لم يجوز له رواية بالمعنى بلا خلاف بين أهل العلم. We say that your person must narrate the hadith. You have a question? Before he was a strong narrator. Yeah. And then something occurred with his mindset. Yeah. After that, he becomes like, yeah. Yeah. So if someone is a strong narrator and people are narrating hadith from him, then he becomes sick, right? Becomes senile or whatever. After that, whatever he narrates cannot be accepted, right? However, even after that, the books and what he has written before that will still be accepted, right? Him now as a narrator, he becomes problematic. Okay. So he says if a person wants to narrate a hadith bil ma'na, right? Meaning you're not saying the exact words of the hadith, you're explaining what the meaning is of the hadith, right? If he isn't knowledgeable about the alfaz and what is actually the intent of it, right? What the meaning is, then it is not permissible for him to narrate it bil ma'na. He'll have to do it word for word. بلا خلاف بين أهل العلم, without any difference of opinion of opinion. وإن كان عالما بذلك فقال طائفة من أصحاب الحديث والفقه والأصول لا يجوز مطلقا. جوزه بعضهم في غير حديث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ولا يجوز في. Some say that it is permissible for him to narrate it if it isn't a hadith of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and some don't give permissibility in that even. قال جمهور السلف والخلف من الطوائف المذكورة يجوز في الجميع إذا جزم بأنه أداء معنى، وهذا هو الصواب الذي يقتضيه أحوال الصحابة فمن بعده رضي الله عنه. وفي روايتهم قضية الواحدة بألفاظ مختلفة ثم هذا في الذي سموا في غير مصنفات. تقريبا
ثم هذا في الذي يصنع في غير المصنفات. أما المصنفات فلا يجوز تغييرها وإن كان بالمعنى. أما إذا وقع في الرواية أو التصنيف غلط 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 لا شك فيه. فالصواب الذي قاله الجماهير أنه يرويه على الصواب ولا يغيره في كتاب بل ينبهه عليه على روايته في حاشية الكتاب فيقول كذا وقع والصواب كذا.
So basically what they are saying here is that as long as a person knows exactly what is being said, alright, and he can narrate it and keep the same meaning and the same objective of what is being said, then it will be correct to narrate it. Right? As long as this person narrating it also is a proper narrator. Alright, basically what they are saying. We're saying that this applies to that which is being heard, not that which is being written. Says that says that if a person is doing something of writing, right, and when he writes it, he should write. When he writes, he should write it exactly how he heard it, right? Says even if you heard it was maybe a mistake in it, right, or something that is changed, then you still have to write it like that. ولا يغيره في كتاب. Rather, he would at the end of it, like a hashia, or he would explain what it should be. All right. This is common if you are reading a hadith a lot. You'll find that they will say he made a mistake here, or it's supposed to be like this. All right. Some places they will say things like, we haven't heard this term except through this chain or through this narrator. All right. So in the writing is no bil ma'na. You can't write the kitab and present the hadith bil ma'na. You give it exactly as the wording of the hadith is meant to be. فصل في رواية الحديث بالإسنادين. So this is narrating a hadith with two sanad. إذا روى شيخ الحديث بإسناد ثم أتبعه بإسناد آخر فقال إن الانتهاء هذا الإسناد مثله ونحوه فأراد السامع أن يروي متن بإسناد الثاني مقتصرا عليه فالأثر منعه وهو قول الشعبي. He says if a person narrates hadith, or finding a Muslim person narrates hadith and he gives two sanads for it, right? He gives the first sanad hadith, he gives another sanad for it. Now they're asking that sometimes what happens, they give the sanad, they give the narration, right? Then they give another sanad afterwards, and then they just attribute it to that. They say like previously. The matan is like previous. So what they are asking is, can a person narrate this hadith, right, but use the second sanad and not the first, right? So the other view, the chosen view, is that he cannot do this. And this is according to Shoaib. وقال سفيان الثوري يجوز بشرط أن يكون الشيخ محدث ضابط محتفظا مميزا بالألفاظ. So now what is the condition? This says that it is permissible provided that the Sheikh who narrated the hadith is precise, right? Is meticulous, is precise, and is meticulous, and he follows it with another chain and says at the end of this chain something similar or like that. يحيى بن معين يجوز ذلك بقول مثلي ولا يجوز في نحوي. وقال خطيب البغدادي الذي قاله ابن معين بناء على منع الرواية بالمعنى أما على جوازها فلا فرق. وكان جماعة من العلماء يحتاطون في مثل هذا. يحيى. So Yahya ibn Ma'in says, thus is permissible with a statement like his, but not with something similar. Right? If he's saying what he's saying, then it's fine. But not if he's saying something to the effect. Right? Khatib al-Baghdadi said, what Ibn Ma'in said is based on the prohibition of narrating by meaning. That's what he said, right? Similar or something. So you can't do it according to meaning. It is permissible. If it is permissible, then there is no difference. Read it.
يحتاجون في مثل هذا. فإذا أرادوا رواية مثل هذا أو أراد أحدهم الإسناد الثاني ثم يقول مثل حديث قبله متن كذا ثم يسبقه واختار الخطيب هذا ولا شك في حسنه. ثم إذا ذكر الإسناد وطرفا من المتن ثم قال وذكر الحديث أو قال واقتص الحديث أو قال الحديث.
So he says that, so a group of ulama, they were very cautious in doing this. Very cautious in doing this. However, if someone did want to do this, or if one mentioned this, and there is no doubt about its transmission, then it will be fine. So now you would say, you would give a second sanad, ثم يقول مثل حديث قبله. Then he said the same like the hadith that came before, the matan. Then he says no problem. واختار الخطيب هذا, and this was the sort of al-Khatib, and he says that لا شك في حسنه. He says that there's no doubt that the thing will still be correct. Now read. أما إذا ذكر
أراد السامع ما أشبهه.
No, read from the beginning of the paragraph. أما
إذا ذكر الإسناد وطرفا من المتن ثم قال ذكر الحديث أو قال واقتص الحديث أو قال الحديث أو ما أشبهه فأراد السامع أن يروي عنه من الحديث بكماله فطريقه أن يقتصر على ما ذكره الشيخ ثم يقول والحديث بطوله كذا فيسبقه إلى آخره. فإن أراده أن يرويه مطلقا ولا يفعل ما ذكرناه فهو أولى بالمنع.
But if he mentions the chain of transmission, right, and only a portion of the matter, right, and thereafter he says وذكر الحديث أو قال واختصر الحديث أو قال, or he said the hadith أو ما أشبهه, right, then the one that is listening And then the listener, right? He wants to narrate it. And then the listener wants to narrate the hadith, right? In its entirety. Okay, then his way is to limit himself to what the Sheikh mentioned. Then he would say this hadith. Then he would say that exactly how he said it. Right? If he wants to do the thing in the entirety. Right?
وشيخه إلى آخره فإن أراد أن يرويه
Read it.
مطلقا
Read.
ولا يفعل ما ذكرناه فهو أولى بالمنع سبق في مثله ونحوه وممن نص على منعه من الأستاذ أبو إسحاق إسفرا
Isfarayini. Yeah.
الشافعي وأجازه أبو بكر الإسماعيلي بشرط أن يكون السامع والمسمع عارفين ذلك الحديث. وهذا
So it says that if he wants to do this, he wants to narrate the thing in the entirety, then he should do it from the beginning until the end. And if he wants to do it mutlaqan, and if he wants to do it mutlaqan, وَلَا يَفْلَ مَا ذَكَرْنَاهُ فَهُوَ أَوْلَى أَوْكَدْ. If he intends to narrate it without any qualification and does not do what we have mentioned, هُوَ أَوْلَى بِالْمَنْعِ, then he is more deserving, right? Previously was speaking about can they do it or can't they do it. Now he's saying that if he wants to do basically his own thing, then he is more deserving of prohibition than what has been mentioned previously. Alright? Regarding similar cases. Among those who explicitly prohibit this is Abu Ishaq al-Sfarayini al-Shafi. Right? And Abu Bakr ibn Ismail permitted on condition that both the listener and the one being narrated are familiar with that hadith. Right? So it all revolves around how much knowledge you have about the actual hadith. Right? Huh? Is another line. Okay.
وهذا الفصل مما تشتد الحاجة إلى معرفته في وقت ما بصحيح مسلم وكثرة تقربه فيه.
So this is very important for the person that is studying Saheeh Muslim because its occurrence is often. So many things here in the Muqaddimah that they are bringing, Muslim is bringing, is because this is what will be happening inside of the kitab. Right? It's not then will be happening. Right? There'll be now you will read about some things about the innovators. Right? Can you accept this thing? Can't you accept this? So many of this will be happening inside of the kitab. So he's trying to clarify certain aspects of the science of hadith before he gets into the actual kitab. You still have time? Time it in? Okay. باب وجوب رواية عن الثقات وترك الكذابين وتحذير من الكذب على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. The chapter of the necessity of narrating from thiqa, reliable sources, and leaving those who lie, and the warning against lying upon Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Strong sources.
Yeah. Huh? Say again. Okay. Yeah. Lies. Not necessarily fabricated. A person can be known to tell lies, all right? Not in his hadith also. Right? So that would also be part and parcel, right? Fabrication definitely that would be out. Right? But the person who is known to tell lies, is that the place? واعلم وفق الله تعالى أن الواجب على كل أحد عرف التمييز بين صحيح الرواية وسقيمها وثقات الناقلين لها من المتهمين. So he said it is wajib that each and every person should know the distinguishing, we should be able to distinguish between Sahih al-Riwayat wa Saqimiha, in its way, trustworthy narrators from the accused narrators or those who have some blemish on them. أن لا يروي منها إلا ما عرف صحة مخارجه وستارته في ناقليه. So he says that a person should only narrate that which he knows to be correct or that is from correct sources, right? And reliable transmitters. وأن يتقي منها ما كان منها عن أهل التهم ومعاندين من أهل البدع. And he should be aware from those who are accused or those who oppose from those of the Ahlul Bid'ah. So innovators, right? Not innovators like we are thinking of, we do one thing or we do something and some say that's Bid'ah. Not like that. Right? Complete innovators. Their whole mindset, their manhaj and everything is going to be different. ودليل على أن الذين قلنا من هذا هو اللازم دون ما خالفه قوله جل ذكره. He says that what is our dalil, what is our proof, what we are saying that is lazim, there is no going against this, is that يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا أن تصيبوا قوما بجهالة فتصبحوا على ما فعلتم نادمين. He says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, oh, you believe, if a sinful person comes to you with some news, some information, then verify it. Otherwise, to be that you will afflict people with their ignorance, and you will become regretful with regards to what you do. وَقَالَ جَلَ ثَنَاؤُهُ مِمَّنْ تَرْضَوْنَ مِمَّنْ شُهَدَاءَ. Those who you are pleased with to be witnesses. وَقَالَ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ وَأَشْهِدُوا ذَوِي الْعَدْلِ مِنْكُمْ. Then the witness of two just people from you. فَدَلَّ بِمَا ذكرنا من هذه الآية أن خبر الفاسق ساقط غير مقبول. From this, what do we take? That the khabar, the information, the news, the storytelling of someone who is sinful, ساقط, غير مقبول. This will be rejected and not accepted. وأن شهادة غير عدل مردودة. And the testimony of a person that is not adl, that is not just, it will be rejected. Right? فإن فارق معناه معنى شهادته في بعض الوجوه ويجتمعان في أعظم معانيهما. So he says that a khabar and shahada. A khabar meaning a hadith, a narration of something that you are saying, and a testimony of something that you witnessed. It is different. The meaning of these two is different. Right? It's not exactly the same. But they differ in some things. And they agree in some things. Right? So there is a fine line between the two. But in some things they cross over. Right? They meet each other. فإذ كان خبر الفاسق غير مقبول عند أهل العلم, if a khabar of a sinful person is not accepted by the people of knowledge, كما أن شهادته مردودة عند جميعهم, just like the shahada is mardura from according to everyone, دلت السنة على نفي رواية المنكر من الأخبار. Like that, the sunnah indicates upon not accepting a doubtful narration. Right? In the sunnah, you will find also that it is saying that you shouldn't accept a doubtful narration. كنحو دلالة القرآن على نفي الخبر الفاسد. Just as the Quran indicates not accepting the information of a sinful person. وعلى أثر المشهور عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, from a very famous hadith of Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم, it says, من حدث عني بحديث يرى أنه كذب فهو أحد الكاذبين. Any person who narrates from me a hadith and he knows it to be a lie, فهو أحد الكاذبين. He himself is from those who lie. حدثنا أبو بكر من أبي شيبة حدثنا وقيع عن شعبة عن الحكم عن عبد الرحمن من أبي ليلى عن سمرة بن جندب. You see this is the part that we skipped before. Ha is when it makes tahwil. Right? When Imam Muslim now is giving another sanad. Right? That he is giving. That's why he said, وَحَدَّثَنَا Abu Bakr ibn Abi Shayba أيضا. He says also, because the first one is Abu Bakr ibn Abi Shayba, and then it goes to certain narrators. Again, he gets a narration from Abu Bakr ibn Abi Shayba, right? عن شعبة بن سفيان عن حبيب عن ميمون ibn أبي شبيب عن المغيرة ibn شعبة قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ذلك. He says that, he says indication. There will be a high in between it. Yeah. So now not only is he speaking about this, that's what we have read now, is what you understand, like this is a matter. So the following page, and he gives the sharh. قال رحمه الله اعلم وفق الله تعالى أن الواجب على كل أحد عرف التمييز بين صحيح رواية سقيمة وثقات ناقلين لها من المتهمين أن لا يروي منها إلا ما عرف صحة المخارج وسقامة ناقله أو كيف سوى التمييز. Do you have this? Don't have this in your book. They're explaining what is being said now. It's right after what I just read. There is no in the shop. In the shop. You don't read the shop? Huh? Inshallah, Allah make it such that you read the hadith and the shop. We'll start with the hadith, inshallah. Okay. You got it? You got it now? Yeah. ستارة بكسر السين وهي ما يشترط به وكذلك سترة وهي هنا إشارة إلى صيانة. So yeah, using this word is something of protection, like be careful, caution. وقالوا أن يتقي منها وبدناه بالتاء مسنات فوق بعد مسنة تحت وبالقاف من الاتقاء وهو الاجتناب. So here the meaning by يتقي, like stay away, اجتناب. وفي بعض الأصول وأن ينفي, and in some of it they say ينفي بالنون والفاء وهو صحيح أيضا هو بمعنى أو. وقول صحيح الروايات وسقيم وسقيم وثقات ناقلين لا من المتهمين ليس هو من باب التكرار للتأكيد بل هو معنى غير ذلك. This is it. Thus here that they're saying it now. He's not repeating it for ta'kid, for emphasis. Rather, he's saying it again here. He's repeating himself for a different reason. فقد تصح روايات المتن ويكون الناقلون لبعض أسانيد المتهمين فلا يشتغل بذلك الإسناد. He says, why is he saying it again? He's saying it because sometimes riwayat, right, narrations or narrators for a certain matan, in some of their sanad, there is tuham, there is some doubt, there is some problem, right? And in another one, there isn't. So perhaps you're narrating from one person, and some person in the chain of narration that he has, that is going to the hadith, there's someone that is problematic. So that chain becomes a problem. But if the same person is narrating through another chain, that hadith will be sound. Understand? وأما قوله, as for when he said أنه يجب أن يتقي ما كان منها من المعاندين من أهل البدع فهذا مذهبه. وقال العلماء المحدثين والفقهاء وأصحاب الأصول مبتدئ الذي يكفر ببدعته لا تقبل روايته باتفاق. So see, when he mentioned this معاندين, right, من أهل البدع, right, he says that the ulama and muhaddithin, the fuqaha, and the ashabul usul, that bid'ah which makes a person or leads a person to kufr, or he becomes a kafir because of this bid'ah, what he is doing, then his riwayat will not be accepted, ittifaqan, right? As for the one who His bid'ah doesn't lead him to kufr, or doesn't make him a kafir. Not leads him, doesn't make him a kafir. You don't know where is it? Show me where is it. Do you know where it is? Huh? Does anybody know where it is? Huh? So it's like story time. It's a story time here. Allah salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Let us just finish the section tomorrow. You can look for it and we can go over it again. So now he's saying, if a person is bid'ah doesn't make him a kafir, then there's ikhtilaf whether it would accept his riwayat or not. There are some that will reject his riwayat mutlaqan. Why? Because of his son. And any ta'wil would not benefit him at all. Alright? Would not excuse him. And then there are those who will accept it mutlaqan. Islam yakun mimman yastahilul fi nusrati man. As long as he is not a person who permits lying, right, in order to push or assist his beliefs. Okay, we continue with this tomorrow, inshallah. I was looking forward to, inshallah, you can find it and carry on, inshallah. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah. Yeah,